Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Welcome to the first full trading week of 2026. As always, let's start this one out by reading what's on the screen. Remember, trading is very risky. Most traders lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you always do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top on Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Chat, good morning, man. How are we doing? How are we feeling? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Paul Memphis, good morning. Adam, Souls of Zero. I'm going to try to run through these. Arc Casino, Cyrus, Dwayne, Jamie, Dr. FP, Rallies, what's going on? What's going on? A Deal King, my boys on Kick, everybody on X. What's up, guys? What's going on? We are streaming live here every damn day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern across YouTube, Kick, and X. 100% free. Free 99 is how we run the show. What's up, guys? I'm feeling good this morning. I'm excited. Excited coming into this year, man. Really, really, really excited coming into this year. A little bit behind the gun. YouTube was acting funky. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna maybe have to mess with StreamYard again. OBS and Restream and multi-platform streaming and 47 different things that I try to display at the same time, plus cameras, plus graphics and overlays and chat. It creates a mess. But that's a complaint for me, not for you guys. So we are here still on the Top 1 Futures pre-live 15K account. This is still Project X, not for long. Going to be coming over to TradingView Ninja Trader pretty soon. But we are going to be looking at YM here on the 15-minute chart. As you guys know, I was looking at ES a little bit over the holidays, playing around a little bit on some low time frames. Back on YM, that is going to be my focus for the US indices here for intraday trading, meaning trades that I'm opening and closing on the same day, obviously with prop firms, as that is part of the rule set for almost all futures prop firms. If you want to read a little bit about my trading, a little bit of history if you don't know me from a hole in the wall, and then a little bit about my trading coming into 2026, coming into this year, where I'm going to be focused. I think I called it my 2026 trading focus. I'm going to link this post right here. It's on X. It's also in the oh, you know what? You know what? Forget that. Go to the Discord. Hang on one second. It's in the free Discord. I think it's important to provide context. This is a long one. It took me a while to write up. You guys can read, you can not read, you can do whatever you want. But here is the link to the 100% free trading Discord. Right there. In the Zach's Trades channel, I've got a write-up. A little bit of a write-up. I think, again, if you watch anybody, right? Like you guys are here hanging out, watching me. You're part of the community. We're talking about trading. You're watching me trade. You're watching what I do and how I do it. And then you watch things from, what goes into my trading, my opinions on different things, where I think things are good opportunities or bad opportunities, my lifestyle, things I do outside of trading. And I think like understanding the context between all that, the history, the game plans, where I'm at in my life, I think that could be important when deciding what the best opportunity for you is. And I don't see a lot of traders do this, and it's kind of time consuming to do, but it's what I always wanted to do. I would watch people and I'd be like, well, I'm not you, dude. I have no idea where you're at. Have you been trading for 1 year or 20 years? Are you coming from $0, capital, or do you have $10 million, right? Things that you do are going to be very different, than me. Where do you spend your time? Are you on the charts, 18 hours a day? Are you on the charts 5 minutes a day? All these different things. So I got a little bit of shifting going on as we open up right here. Coming into 2026, I think it's really important to, if you're going to be around for the journey, if you're going to hang out here watching me trade live, important to understand some of that stuff. Again, transparency, try to give you all the information I possibly can. That's where that stuff is coming from. So, past that, and I'll get back to the chat. I see we got some questions rolling in. We are here on YM, opening up to the upside. If you guys live under a rock, which I'm assuming that you don't, You're probably aware of the U.S.-Venezuelan conflict or situation. I don't know what you would describe that as, but there is certainly reason for potential volatility coming into the open. There was a lot of pre-market volatility in related stocks and the markets related to that. Here we are taking off to the upside. This is kind of what I was thinking would happen if I was going to speculate on news and how the market might perceive it. But you guys can research that yourself. I could keep politics out of my trading. I've read through it. I've read the history. I've read what happened. Yeah, gun to my head. This is what I thought might happen right off of the open here on the U.S. indices. Aggressively pushing to the upside here on YM right off of the open. This could be a runaway freight train today. NQ really not pulling the same deal just yet. Yeah, it's pretty aggressive right off the open. We are now trading 350 points off of the lows and climbing. I was looking at this potentially being perceived positively. I don't trade news. I don't really trade fundamentals when it comes to intraday trading in the U.S. indices, but I am aware, of things like major conflict, right? War, tariffs that we saw this year. They have massive impacts on the market, right? Natural disasters, COVID outbreaks, stuff like that. You probably want to be aware a little bit. You want to just check the news to see if there's breaking headlines, figure out what that is. Hey, does that likely or potentially have a big impact on the market? And this one does big time. For reasons you can go and, research for yourself. It's probably going to do a better job describing it than I am. Yeah, so not running anything into the open on this. There was no big pullback or retest. This is a very tight overnight session range, right? From Sunday open. Nothing crazy out of YM at all. So, really no excuse for me to be in the market, into the open, like in pre-market. What I was looking at potentially for an aggressive long entry to try to get in on this would be a retest of prior day's volume point of control, Friday's volume point of control, just to dip down to this area of high volume. Kind of like the same trade that I took on Friday that I took an L on that actually ended up later into the session pushing 300 points in the direction of my trade. I'll pull the trade back up so we can look at that. But we didn't get that. We just blasted right off the open. I don't have a momentum trade that I take 30 seconds into the open. It's a mean reversion style trade. So that's what I was hoping for, that we would pull the classic fake everybody out to the downside and then push to the upside, right? Higher time frame trend to the upside, potential, fundamentals that could be causing some volatility. But that's the technical play here at YM almost every day. So that's what I was looking at for a potential entry. Would have maybe allowed me to get stop loss down below the low. Maybe I would have to size down for this a little bit. We didn't do that. We blasted off here. I'm not going to pull anything crazy today, guys. Again, I think I really try to stay in my lane, right? I'm not the fundamental trader. I'm not going to do a great job of being an economic, analyst on the fundamentals around a geopolitical conflict, a developing situation. So do your own research, right? Go and read about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to CNBC, go to any news site. Look at what happened over the weekend and read, where those guys are calling for potential volatility, right? You can at least understand why there might be volatility today and across what sectors, especially if you're trading outside of the futures market. If you're trading metals, even within the futures market, different things are probably going to move differently today. Important to note that for sure. So yeah, pushing to the upside, blasting higher. I'm not going to short this. I don't really have a short play on this. That was a very, very, very aggressive move to the upside here in YM. Let's see. We do have some 10 a.m. news. I'll talk about that in a minute, but nice positive CVD across both ES and YM. Yeah, we could run ES over here on the side for now. Just take a look at what's popping up. Yeah, on another day where we're not coming off of lows for a pullback here, pushing to the upside where I want it to be long here, I want it to be long in here. On another day where maybe we're a little bit more balanced, we're not opening up above prior day's value area high, having cracked prior day high in the pre-market, right? Bullish price action market structure coming into it. On another day, like maybe if there's levels above, you guys know I'll take an aggressive short. I'll take that mean reversion play back down to VWAP, back down to, maybe prior day's volume point of control, especially if it's naked like this, untested. Not today. That's not the setup today. The setup was for the long mean reversion pull back in the direction of the trend. I don't have that. We just didn't get it. We took off at VWAP right off the open here. Print in the first 6 minutes, almost 350 points higher here. This is not insane, right, for what YM can do, but 450 points higher. Now, really aggressive short if you're someone trading YM and you're like, hey, this is going to be a massive fake out. We got an area of high volume here, right? All of the highs up around Christmas, December 24th, right? Yeah, December 26th. Yeah, no, this is it. December 24th, 26th, 29th before we sold off. I think we're likely going to run into some sellers here. We should at least challenge these buyers, maybe on a sweep of these highs. But I'm not going to jump in front of this for a play back down. I think this is going to be a bullish day. I don't know how far it's going to run. I don't know that it's going to present me a lot of opportunity. That's just part of it, right? I try to describe this stuff, what my setup looks like. I know what my setup looks like. You watch me take trades aggressively, like into the open on Friday. You watch me sit here and not take a trade aggressively this first 7 minutes of the open here for NYSE for multiple reasons. Setup is just not there is main one right there. So I'm going to see what happens up here. Again, if you said, gun to your head, after we break above this area of high volume, right? Like after we come above these pre-market highs, above this level right here, where's the next area to short? 49,000 evens right here. Like this, if you had to tell me to take a short today for, maybe 100-point pullback, 200-point pullback, it's right here, right now at 49,000. I'm not taking that. That would be a crazy jump in front of the freight train for me, based on price action market structure from higher time frames, where volume's at, the open, and what we did in the overnight session, right? What price action market structure looked like through Asia and London. So that's not a setup for me, man. But there certainly could be a play here, really, really aggressive. Something like this where you're just targeting a dip back down, maybe something even tighter like that. You say, hey, if we break above these highs, now I'm just dead wrong. We're going to run. We're going to run the 300s. You could run something really aggressive like that. I'm not going to pull it. But if I had to take something coming into the open now, given this price action market structure, that's what I would take. I don't think there's any good way to structure risk on this at all here for a long. I think you'd be chasing the breakout. I don't know, what you would do with a stop loss that would invalidate something. I think it would have to be, lows of day, lows of session, right? At least right down here. So short, short would be my play from up here, but I'm not going to take it today. It's not a valid setup really at all. If we traded 200 points higher after blasting off, I would look back and go, why did you jump in short there? That's not a valid play. So sitting patient. Let's see. I think it's going to be an interesting day, guys. I think it's going to be a really interesting day. So I'm curious to see what we get here. I'm definitely curious to see what we get here. Let's see. Still pushing. Going to crack highs here. There it is, man. Yep, long into the open was the play here on YM. ES and NQ, not nearly as dramatic here. Definitely not bearish. Holding above VWAP into the open. ES looking the strongest out of out of ES versus NQ, but nothing insane, right? Certainly not the move that we got out of YM here. Aggressively still going, man. Buyers still taking it higher, finally above these highs from December. Really just pushing this this daily, weekly, yearly, since we're only a couple days into January, candle higher here. It's pretty aggressive, man. I don't have a setup on this. I am not going to I'm not going to be jumping directly in front of this, but again, not surprised to see it, especially in Dow. Really not surprised to see it based on the underlying assets here. Let's see. Chat, how we doing, guys? How are we doing? Morning, gang. New bus of work, so I'll be in and out today. nice, Mike. Glenn B, what's up? Fast Money, what's going on? I don't know who that is, but I'm guessing it's because I got a headband on. My hair is absolutely out of control, so I gotta do something so it's not my face while I'm streaming. Let's see what you guys said here. There goes my long trade for the week. YM already hitting ATR high. Nice. We have PMI 10. There you go. Yes. So 10 a.m. news. We got about 20 minutes to 10 a.m. news. I said I was going to talk about that. I got it loaded up right here. We got ISM manufacturing PMI and manufacturing prices. ISM manufacturing prices. That is a red folder. It's not in my humble opinion, not an FOMC, not an NFP, not a CPI. But it is something. It is something to be cautious of. So, for those reasons, I would exercise some caution if you are looking to trade into the 10 a.m. time frame here. That's something I would definitely trade through. Not something that I would be too worried about trading through. I don't think we're gonna have a huge reaction to that, although we certainly could. Morning, trading crew. Happy New Year. Haven't seen that type of volume in the first 5 minutes since Trump tariffs. Yeah, man, that, to even take a look down here at just traditional volume down on the bottom. This is the most volume we've traded on a 15-minute candle since for a while. Maybe back here into November. Just at first glance here, we had quite a bit of volume down here in December, but that's beating it. This is a lot of volume traded here in YM. Let me just take a look at what ES did. Yeah, not nearly as much on ES. But YM has got some buyers today, man. NQ pretty heavy on the volume side. Let me just get rid of it. Look at traditional volume down here on the bottom. Yeah, NQ pretty heavy. NQ pretty heavy by way of volume here. And we're not done printing this 15-minute candle. Heavy buy-side volume out of YM, though. Cracking prices higher. Yeah, again, guys, I don't have a play coming on this. I think the play you would have had to have done to capture this is either run a long directly in or immediately long. I'm talking first 30 to 60 seconds of the open as we pushed higher. Tough play, right? If you're not going to trade that type of momentum every single day, you're not going to catch that type of move, right? And for the most part, go back and back test or just look at the chart. Is that a really frequent thing to happen where we just blast? Can't believe this thing is still going in one direction off of the open. Not really. Not 465, 500 points in the first 15-minute candle. So above the December highs here, where are we gonna go with this, man? Straight through the the late December highs, straight through the December 12th highs up here. Looks like we're making the case for it, man. Looks like we want to make the case for it in YM. Rally is continuing here, man. Taking a look at ES. Again, putting a strong daily candle in so far here. Look at that push, man. Yeah, I had the inclination coming into the open. I had the inclination that I exercised on Friday with you guys. That was my long position that ended in a stop out before we did come all the way up to trade directly to the level that I wanted. You can go back and watch the live session from Friday if you want. I talked about the 48 650s multiple times. Just, it's a game of inches trading oftentimes. It is really a game of inches, and I had my entry right where I wanted it, right at the 350s, right at the 48,350s, really right into the open pretty aggressively. Again, similar to what I was looking at for a pullback before a blast off today, but took the stop out. All right, took the stop out. We had to go and trade. We didn't catch buyers right here into the open. We had to go and trade 220 points lower, 225 points lower, right? Enough to take me out just by 20 or so points. And then, we pushed really aggressively off those, held VWAP, and then popped into the afternoon to close out, up around the highs of day. Today, this is what I was hoping for. Not even nearly as aggressively as something like this. Again, just maybe down to... Yeah, we didn't even test value area high, right? Maybe down to prior day volume point of control, untested volume point of control, a test down into this area to look for a long. YM not giving us that today, man. Definitely not giving us that today. Actually, I can, hold on a second. I can go back and hide this. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to get on this. Really don't know what I'm going to get on this. Continuing to show strength. Trading the 49,000, almost 200s here. Looking like we want to go tap that level. What a move, man. Like I said, where do we go next? We go run the 300s? 49,300s? Right? That's what it's looking like, man. Super aggressive. Again, guys, in about 12 minutes, we have Red Folder News coming up. I would be cautious if you are going to take a trade on anything into Red Folder News. I think it is worth it to be cautious here. Let's see. Man, it would be a great year. Should I get a free funded account in desperate need? Yeah, for sure. I appreciate everybody that says that comments, all that type of stuff, man. You can always share where you're at. And I don't mean to sound, shrill when I say I promise you that telling me that stuff and saying that stuff does not give you any better chance than just being here, and following whatever the entry is, right? I promise you I don't pick people. It is random. That's part of the game. And also, I don't give out anything as far as like people asking me directly for it. Morning, Kobe Clark. What's up, man? What's going on, guys? But if you hang out here, we do give away instant funded accounts almost every day. No purchase necessary. Just got to be on the live streams to get them. You can also follow across socials if you want more chances to win from me. You can follow across X. You can follow across IG. I do giveaways all over the place, man. You can hop in the free Discord. Link pinned to the top of the chat has all of that if you guys want to hop in. Yeah. Also, if you're in desperate, ADO King says, trading out of desperation is a recipe for disaster. Been there, done that. If you're in desperate need of a funded account, and I hate to say this, but with almost 100% certainty, like I would bet against, unfortunately, a person in that situation every single time just because the stats show it. You're almost, never going to make the progress that you want to make, right? If you don't have capital to lose, if you don't have risk capital to work with, capital that you are very comfortable losing, you're putting yourself in a much, much more difficult situation than somebody that does, right? I talk about that sometimes. It should be obvious, but, picture the version of yourself that has money in the bank. Bills are paid for. You have a job with income. Everything's paid for. You're not in desperate need of anything. And you have, $5K, $10K, $50K, $100,000 to trade with that it's just trading capital versus the complete opposite. You are in desperate need of an account You have no money. You got bills coming up. Everybody's stressing you because nothing's working and you're dead broke. Which version is going to trade better? Which version is going to execute better? Which version is going to be, comfortable putting on risk and being objective and not allow fear and greed and hope and all of these external desires to creep in? It should be obvious, right? That, person number one. Now, not everybody can get to that situation, right? Not everybody can get to that situation, but know what the position you're putting yourself in, right? Understand the edge that you don't have because you're up against almost everybody else that you see doing well trading, which is in position number one. Now, very, very few cases that I have heard, people that I talked to that have had their back against the wall, that have, needed to trade to pay bills, that type of stuff. But they are way, way fewer and far between. And we know that profitable traders are few and far between to begin with. So, if you're saying, okay, well, what do I do then? I still want to learn to trade. You still think it's a good opportunity? Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. Trade on demo. Trade on demo. You don't have money to lose. You shouldn't be trading at all. You don't have a funded account and you're scrapping together to buy one funded account. It's not it, man. It's not gonna be it. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your time. Don't do that. Trade on demo until you have enough money to lose some accounts and be comfortable losing that money. That's when you stand a chance to start to turn some profit. And it's probably not what anybody wants to hear, but that's the truth. That's the truth. At least that's my truth. And even then when you have money to lose, even then when everything's paid for, even then when you have a bunch of risk capital and you don't need the money to make money, it's still incredibly difficult. But you put yourself into an insane bracket where you stack so much more odds against you. So to be honest, that type of situation, man, I would just not be putting money on the line. Just wouldn't. Trading is not the spot to do that. It just you have so much that you have to focus on from a psychology and mindset standpoint that you put yourself in that type of situation. You're competing against everybody who's not in that situation. It's that much harder for you. So get yourself out of that situation first. That's what I would recommend. Get a normal job. Get whatever kind of job. Grind it out. Get some other type of income coming in. Because trading is not. This was a good saying. I was listening to somebody talk about this. Trading's not a money printer. People say printer, it's a money printer. You get a strategy, it's a money printer. It's not. It's never been and it never will be. Trading is a money multiplier. It's a money multiplier. You need money to make money in trading. That's how this works. You cannot make it out of thin air for the most part, as far as I'm aware. And the more money you have, the more money you can make, right? That's why you see investors, funds, people that are millionaires raising money from outside investors, right? They maybe you have something that works, you're extremely successful. They already are big dollar guys. Why would you need more money? You have something that works. Well, it's not a money printer. It's a money multiplier. The more money you have, the more money you can make. So think about it that way. I think it's important to think about it that way. You can certainly scale from small accounts. You can certainly start with small capital. All of that is true. But, man, do everything you can to avoid putting yourself in a situation where you need to make money, because you will almost never. So, I've had that demonstrated to me over and over and over again. The minute I start trading an account that I don't care about losing, I can't lose. I literally can't lose. Soon as I came over to different prop firms, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to trade these accounts until I lose them. I can't stop taking payouts on them. Why? Mindset. Psychology, right? Even as you get more advanced, it's still constantly demonstrated to you. The less you care about it, the more that you're objective in the markets, the more that you're doing just what makes sense, the more that you're able to hold your trades, cut your losers. You're not hoping, wishing, praying, needing something to happen. So again, long rant on that, guys, but I think, that's kind of the full scope. Outside money is the way. Let's see. Nate, stupid DLL, because I took a $200 loss trading Asia. Break my rules, cost me every effing time. Yeah, Nate. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Good reminder, though. Good reminder. Stay in your lane, man. Just stay in it. You got something that's working so good. Just stay in it. Stay patient. 5 minutes till this red folder news, guys. Trading is more about controlling fear and greed than strategy. 100%. 100%. Everybody hates to hear that. Nobody likes to hear. I hated when guys would say that. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? It's about mindset. It's about psychology. What are you talking about? Obviously, it's about strategy, right? That's the differentiator. Profitable traders and the best traders, the most profitable traders, what separates them from everybody else that's losing money? It's not strategy, unfortunately. You need an edge. You need a strategy. You need a risk management, a plan that you stick to, right? But that's not the end-all, be-all, and that's not enough. It's mindset. It's the way that you're thinking about trading, the way that you're thinking about the markets. That's the differentiator, as well as experience. Can't shortcut time on the charts. Juan, what's up? Good morning, bro. You need to be calm if you're shaking and trembling. Watch out. I was that person. Yeah. Here to help my family, and that is the hardest way to trade your plan. It makes you feel like every trade is the one to save your life. Just trade for the trades. Yeah, man. 100%. 100%. You want to be doing what makes sense. You want to be following your approach, taking your good wins, taking your good losses objectively in the markets. Any thought process, desire, fear, hope, greed, reason outside of what's happening on the charts in front of you or fundamentals, whatever tools you use, anything outside of that is an execution error, right? Is influencing you in a way that doesn't make sense. The market does not care whether you need to pay your bills or not, and that's why you're putting on 15 contracts long on silver, right? That you're doing something wrong. So it's easier said than done. Everybody struggles with that to a degree, but build some discipline, build the understanding, right? The mindset around that. Try to put processes in place to help you move the needle in the right direction, and then build experience, because it's not going to be done through just through knowing about it, unfortunately. Happy New Year, guys! Welcome to 2026. Bit the bullet and bought my new PC. Nice, Luca. Pretty happy with it so far. Next issue is my internet connection. Yep. PC is only as good as the internet connection, which is why I run a fast internet. And it sounds like I'm making this up because you happen to talk about internet connection, but I promise you I'm not. I have my internet provider coming out to my house tomorrow for two reasons. One, to double my speed, which is already it's just under the fastest I can get. So I'm hyped about that. Super duper fast, but also to get it in a separate location. If you guys saw, I am building out, or I'm having it built out, an entire new trading space. I will be out of this area that I'm in and into a new area. You'll see it because it'll obviously be the background here on the streams, but it'll also be all over across socials. So follow along IG. I've been posting a whole bunch of pictures. Taking forever, as almost every project does. But yeah, man, the best MacBook Pro spec'd out or whatever PC you have is not worth anything if you don't have good internet, right? It's only as fast as your internet. Yeah, man, watch this thing push higher. So here we go, guys. 60 seconds to red folder news. We have ISM manufacturing PMI coming up right now. Also a reminder, it's going to be too late for you to watch news with me if this is happening to you. But also a reminder, because a handful of people have continued to tell me this. If you're on YouTube right now, make sure you go down to the bottom of the video where you see like the bar and everything and the volume and the settings. Make sure that you are live. Make sure that you click the live button. If you have not great internet or not great, processor or memory or whatever it is, I think sometimes it kicks you off of live and it can be like a minute or two behind. Make sure you're live with me here. Click the live button. So here we go, guys. Coming into this news, let's see. Do we rocket to the 300s? Do we turn down? Is it a nothing burger? Let's see. Definitely got some volatility coming in there. I'm super zoomed out on the 15-minute because obviously there's nothing looking left here. Let's see. Boredom from the weekend gets me every time. Yep. Yeah, Nate, and guys, if you're trading Asia session open on Sunday and you traditionally trade New York session, you're probably doing something wrong. I think Asia session open on Sunday, unless that is your go-to, unless that is what you trade, is probably one of the worst times to trade outside of like Friday NYSE session close. Stick to your guns, right? Stick to your guns. But I hear you, man. I hear you. We're enthusiastic about the market. We have these goals, have these desires. Nate, you've been killing it, man. Just do everything you can to keep in line. Do everything you can to keep in line, right? If you're someone like Nate that's getting to a point where now you've taken multiple payouts, bigger, larger, more frequent payouts, stay right down the middle, man. Don't let overconfidence come in. Don't let boredom come in. Do everything you can. Don't oversize or say, I got it all figured out. Now I'm going to, do something crazy. Just keep doing exactly what you're doing, man. You have something that's working. You should be jumping for joy, and then you should be sticking right down the middle, saying, let me find out what this looks like over a larger sample size, the wins, the losses that are associated with this. Let me not change my play, all of a sudden. So that's what I'd say if you're starting to get something that's working. Hard to do, right? Because overconfidence creeps in, but stay right down the middle. Damn, man, still pushing highs, consecutive bullish bars. Let's take a look at ES. Not nearly as strong out of ES. Not nearly as strong at all. Not nearly as strong out of NQ. Super choppy, man. So, do these turn? Do these take everybody out? I don't know that we get anything crazy like that out of YM, man. This thing is just not taking its foot off the gas. At least not yet. At least not yet. Looks like we might want to be going to crack that high, man. What a run right off the open. Yeah, Happy New Year. We need videos of impulsive candles to watch all day. It's becoming sensitized. Yeah. News in less than 2 minutes. Yep. PMI isn't looking very nice, it seems like. Eligible for one XFA to take. Damn. 2,300. Eligible for one more winning day. 100% right. I'll come in for accountability to hold myself. Yeah, man. Yep. 100%. Hang out. But yeah, man, keep yourself right down the middle if you got something that's working. Or something that's not working to a degree. But the goal is, the goal is process, right? Process. And I've done it before 1,000 times, guys. Market starts moving. There's something going on from a fundamental perspective, and we don't want to miss out. We're thinking that there's going to be huge movements because of something, or we're just bored. We're just like, all right, I haven't traded in a while, man. I want that. I want that, excitement, or whatever it is. But remember, there's a saying, a famous saying: everybody gets what they want out of the markets, right? And like the author, or whatever book that is. I, too, when I first read that, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what that means. Everybody wants to make money in the markets. Not true. Not true, right? People are here for excitement. People are here to gamble. People are here to self-sabotage, right? Based on limiting beliefs. Make sure you're here to make money, and make sure everything you do is to make money. And that means sitting on the charts like I am right now and not putting a trade on, right? Although I would really like to. Here to make money. Here to trade my process. Here to trade, my approach. Wait patiently for the market to come to me. Not chase, not do anything crazy, right? I really wanted to put a follow-up trade on Friday after I got stopped out. It would have worked out on Friday, but in the long run, that's probably not going to work out for me. I missed a fill on a live account long-term trade this morning, and I would really like to chase it as the as the instrument runs. But that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to make money. So think about that. Think about that, man. Watching this thing continue to push higher, I'm so interested to see where we go from here. I mean, I'm trying to look at this daily candle and think, this session, what's the thesis? that we top out up here and then we come back down, that we're gonna all of a sudden turn from all-time highs? No, so I really am gonna be cautious on this today. Just no setup. Really is plain and simple for me. No setup. This was a long from pre-market, right? That's it. That's really the only thing that I would see. So if I don't know really many traders that are fast enough that are going to be trading immediate breaks of the 1 minute candle, right? Like into the open. I think that's a pretty trash way to trade. Maybe 9 days out of 10, that's not going to play too nicely with you. But here we are, all the way up into this area of high volume, close to these 300s, finally finding some sellers. Finally, just a little bit. I was running into a wall there, into the 250s. Finally running into a little bit of a wall there. Crazy, man. Crazy markets. Just checking. Crazy markets, man. Crazy markets. Curious to see how this sets up for the rest of the day, man. We're gonna have a real wide initial balance range. Obviously bullish on almost all other metrics. I'll talk about Edgeful here in a second. Some of the stats that are starting to click through my mind after we get through the open. I'll talk more about Edgeful today. We'll take a look. And I got a graphic for them as well. Share a little discount they got rolling. Finally ran into a little resistance here. I'm just curious if we break, how much farther we go. We are definitely pushing the more recent daily and session ranges here. Not sure 15 contracts of silver could cover my wife shopping. Dwayne, 15 minis on silver right now. Phew, that's going to either put you into generational wealth or generational debt. Rhombus 2R here to give her some... It's funny. I'm here to find somebody who will subsidize my shopping habits. You guys are mad funny. I'm here to subsidize my wife's shopping habits. Rhombus is funny, man. I had that option 2x and blew it both times. Get back on horse this month. Nice. Yeah, man. That's a multi-bajillion dollars. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Silver's been absolutely out of control as far as volatility goes relative to the contract values and what you can trade. It's just insane. Absolutely insane. I'd be extremely cautious if you're over there trading on silver. They have the ability to match shopping to spending gains, though. 15 silver minis last week could have retarded this whole chat. Yeah. Like, more than likely, though, here's the thing. Everybody looks at a move and you start doing math. You know how much money you have to have and how much risk you got to be putting on to absorb just a small move against you in a contract that's moving like that with full minis? Like, insane amounts, right? Insane amounts. I mean, the volatility was there, right? We saw guys put up huge numbers. Like I think I saw quite a few records get broken. I saw the largest numbers last week across socials from traders out of both prop firms and live accounts. The guys that traded silver, obviously. But, unfortunately, what you don't see from some, not from all, some are really transparent. We're finding some sellers here, man. We're finding a little bit of resistance. Not sellers, but we're finding a little bit of a wall up here at the 250s. Really interested to see if we go and take the 300s here. But unfortunately, what you don't see is the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blown evals and and fundeds, right? That type of craziness. Any day you don't see that for the most part. Crazy, man. Crazy. Why is this not working for me? I'll have to mess with something later I got going on. Let's see. Chat. What do you guys think, man? What is ES and NQ doing? Yeah, man. Bullish structure through the overnight section. Taking off from VWAP here. Crack a prior day high. Do we just run? Are you guys looking at this like we're about to go head towards these highs? Like we're gonna make this a much bigger daily candle. We're gonna get another leg up here without much of a pullback. Or are you looking at us to come back down, settle, just chill out? This could just be the fake everybody out to the upside right off of the open, but it certainly doesn't feel like it, man. It feels like we're setting a tone based on some fundamentals, based on some conflict, man. Yeah, like just to like give you the headlines, right? The U.S. news sites. Dow rallies 500 points to record as investors see little risk from Venezuela action. I know the other ones were huge. All of the companies associated. Chevron, I think Valero was going crazy. Yeah, Valero up like 10% at one point. Crazy. Anyway, yeah, again, like relatively, guys. Here's the other thing. I will say this. Like this is a pretty nice size move. Price action and market. That's not the chart that I wanted. Price action and market structure wise out of YM, but relatively to like what we've seen, this isn't that crazy, right? This isn't that crazy. This is, what is this percent wise? 1.25% on the day. Here in YM, take a look at these daily candles, right? Especially when we had a lot of volatility over here, a ton of volatility over here. Even crazier when we were putting these, huge daily candles in back in April this year. Definitely big relative to this holiday price action, but that's not completely abnormal, right? There's typically that holiday lull, right? Christmas and New Year's. Remember, we're into a new year. We're coming through the holidays. It's not unreasonable for volatility to start to pick back up into the new year. I don't know that January is typically a massive mover intraday for NYSE. I'd have to go back and do a lot of backtesting, look at some numbers. But definitely not insane to see it start to pick up out of Christmas and New Year. So, this is a larger candle than we've seen, right? This is definitely now, going to be pushing some average ranges. But this is 695 points so far, right? That's not that crazy for YM. All right, we come back over here. Here's 1,000 points. This is just back in November. Here's 700 points on a daily candle. You go back over to 865, right? These are even on the way back up here, coming out. Like, it's not crazy. We're not blowing through average daily, average session ranges like something insane. This was really wild over here. You find some crazy volatility. And there's certainly times where it calms down, right? Definitely times where it calms down. So, just kind of, I think just that's measuring volatility, understanding volatility. A lot of times, like, we can get ahead of ourselves because we're so zoomed in. We're like this, and or we're just like this, even, right? And we're like not realizing that some of these are like half day, Christmas time, New Year's time trading days, and 200-point ranges, which is very, very tight on YM. So this is big. It's definitely some movement. It's a lot of volume. I will say that it's definitely a lot of volume, but it's not out of control. It's not really out of control. Let's see. They have the ability to match spending. Yeah, that's mad funny. Sometimes I watch interview with traders making a killing and using 100K and up accounts like they're napkins. Makes sense. $800 price for the account is just a trade for 10K or more. Yeah. Yeah, man. We were talking about guys making big money. You can scale small accounts. You can have huge, returns on relatively small accounts. But for the most part, like, this is a percent game, right? If you make, whatever percent on a trade, position size is up to you. So, if you become a good trader, great trader, profitable trader, and, you're very limited in capital, you're going to be able to make a whole lot more once you are more well-funded, right? There's certainly a level of risk and sizing and scaling that is part of the game. Not everybody, if you gave them just more money, traders would be able to, make more money with that money. There's a scaling part. There's a risk tolerance part of this, right? And that's just all pure mindset and psychology. But that's where it's really clearly demonstrated. But yeah, for the most part, it's like everybody says, okay, I want to make $200 a day. I want to make $500 a day, right? Is that possible? Is this possible? I get asked that sometimes. What are you starting with? You know how easy it is to make $200 a day if you have $1 million in trading capital? You could just sneeze and you'll make $1,000, right? You know how difficult it would be to put up $500 or $200 a day if you had, for example, $1,000 to trade with or $2,000 to trade with in a live account? Incredibly difficult. You'd with almost 100% certainty blow the account. So you do have to think in those terms, right? Think sometimes in percent terms. With prop firms, it's a little bit more clear, but even I talked a little bit about that in the big post that I was talking about on X and on Discord, right? The guys that you see putting up the biggest numbers with prop firms, the guys on the leaderboards, right? For payouts, right? Largest payouts taken, they are almost without fail the guys who are spending the most money blowing the most evals in accounts, right? There's something else that's in play there, which is just kind of churning and sim farming and, utilizing the ability to exploit the prop firm rules. But, to a degree, that thesis and theory of it takes money to make money holds true, right? Are there exceptions to that rule? Guys that run up, have huge run-ups from super duper small starting balance? Sure, absolutely. But we know that almost nobody's turning a profit to begin with, regardless of their starting capital. Again, if you're putting yourself in these categories that are even way, 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 way smaller, right? You're just stacking the odds even that much further against you. Still pushing here on YM, man. As we're hanging out, curious to see what happens as we come into this 10:30 time frame. We're going to get initial balance set really wide here, which is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about and display for you guys. Let me get this pulled up real quick. Hang tight. Let's get this ready for you guys. So, I am going to be doing a better job about discussing all of the things that go into my trading, right? Especially right here with you guys on the U.S. indices while we're live. That's part of my game plan for 2026. Book map, any other little additional things that are going in, talking about news, talking about fundamentals, right? Talking about Edgeful, some statistics. So I mentioned that a couple times. We're going to look at it. I'm also going to throw in the link if you want to check out, in the chat, if you want to check out Edgeful, their link. Boom. Let's do that real quick. Why does YouTube do this, man? It does like a double link. There we go, guys. On YouTube, on Kick, on X. Link is in the chat if you want to check this out. Edgeful is a data provider, a statistic provider. They break out a whole bunch of different statistics and data, hard data, from the futures market, the stock market, a whole bunch of different markets, crypto, on almost all the different instruments in a ton of different customizable reports, which is what we're looking at right here on YM. I'm going to pull out the report that I talk about all the time that so many of you guys are talking about, that are probably watching. Initial balance breakout. Here is the stats for the first 1 hour of the opening range on YM, right? So today, like I was saying and mentioning, and that's why I was kind of discussing it, we got a big range. We got a really big range, right? We're going to have our initial balance low down here at 9:30 a.m. And we are about 7 minutes away from setting the IB high. If we came all the way back down here, this would be the IB high, and we would have to push the low farther out. But we're going to set this in a minute, and I'll be able to demonstrate it to you guys. There's a lot of statistics around opening ranges. There's a lot of statistics around a whole bunch of different things, but certainly around opening ranges, right? You hear, how often do you guys hear the ORB, right? The 15-minute opening range breakout. Initial balance is the first 1 hour opening range, 5-minute opening range, 30-minute, 1.5 hour, right? 90-minute. You can look at stats around these ranges in a whole bunch of different ways. One of the most popular ways to talk about, to trade, to structure risk, to create a bias around opening ranges, right? This is part of something that I look at as I'm trading past 10:30 a.m. is if we break one side, what happens, right? Just right there. If we break one side, is it frequent? Do we typically come back down and break the other side, or come back up and break the other side, right? That's the first piece of information you could look at. It's something you could find in backtesting. If you look over the last 6 months on YM, that's what we're looking at here, right? YM in the futures market. Initial balance breakout, 6 months. We are looking at NYSE session, first 60 minutes, right? Over the last 6 months, if YM breaks one side of the initial balance, as in it breaks out to the high set between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m., over 3/4 of the days, it has not come back down and broken the low or the high, vice versa, right? Only 6.25% of the time is that happening. Oh, excuse me. Only 17.19, about 17% of the time is that double break happening, right? And only 6% of the time are we not breaking either side, right? From here, you could look at this and say, well, that's not enough data, Zach. We need at least 2 years of data. I want to see what these numbers look like over, a lot of data, right? What happened over the last 514 trading days? 72%, right? We're breaking out one side. We're not coming back down and break the other side. Now, is that enough to create an edge off of, a strategy off of, or maybe try to exploit something that's happening in the market? Probably not. What happens after we break one side, right? How far do we typically extend to the upside, or do we typically retrace back in, right? Based on which side forms first and second, we're also able to tell which side is more likely to break first or second, right? How far do we typically extend, right? What is the average extension? These are all sub-reports from Edgeful that you can look at. I'm not going to go through all of them because it'll just kind of be too overly, complicated, I think. Maybe for another session, we'll do just a complete breakdown on different Edgeful reports. There's a ton of also different reports. It's not just the IB breakout, right? You can see some of the ones that I have bookmapped, things that I look at here, things that I find useful from Edgeful. More than just this, but these are some of the ones that I find useful over here on the right-hand side. If you want to look at the actual report page here, this is your baseline information. As you come down, it shows you a streak, right? You can visualize the last few days. You can see on the 30th, we didn't break at all. All the other days of the last 5 days, we broke out to one side. The stat has played out. You can look back for specific dates, right, for all of the data that you're looking at. They have explainer videos on everything, and they even have visual explanations, right? Here's the high, here's the low. We break the high, we didn't break out, right? What does it look like if we broke double? We broke out from the high, we broke out from the low. So you actually have little visual pieces. They also give you something cool if you're an indicator kid. They give you indicators. They give you indicators for almost everything. Custom trading view, private custom trading view indicators that plot this stuff on the chart for you. If you guys want to check out Edgeful, link is in the chat. I think I had a graphic for them. Is it? Nope. It's that one. 20% off of yearly. It is a paid subscription. I will also always be telling you guys, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, I stand to make money. I'm biased, right? I think Edgeful, as we watch this break out to the high, I think data providers, because there's other outside of Edgeful, if you want to do other research, I think Edgeful specifically, what they provide, is very helpful, incredibly helpful. I think it's the stuff that we look for in backtesting as traders, and it just simplifies it over large sample sizes. I thought it was really cool when I was introduced to it. I was like, where the hell was this when I was backtesting for forever? I still think backtesting is incredibly helpful outside of data providers, but I think on the U.S. indices, specifically for intraday, you have a lot of stats that play out that are really hard to ignore. I think they have to be used in context, right? I think you have to grain of salt certain things. I don't think something gives you 80% edge because there's an 80% of the last 2 years, one thing has happened over another. But I think they can make you aware of really key movements that have really, really high statistics behind them, pretty aggressive, data behind them. Or they could also just kind of confirm what you already know to be true, right? Give you a little bit more confidence. A lot of the stuff that I find on Edgeful is obvious, right? It's stuff that I would already assume, but not all of it. Some of it is really the opposite of what I would assume. Like I would be trading against a statistic that plays out 80% of the time, right? Like power hour stuff. So if you want to check that out, link is in the chat to check it. Shout out Edgeful. But what I'll do here on some of the live sessions is when I start to talk about a stat, right? I'll try to pull up the dashboard. I'll show you guys it so you guys can get some examples for it. I'll display it on the live stream. This is a paid software right here that I'm showing you. Same as Bookmap, right? So maybe you get a little bit of an additional benefit. If you wanted to see a specific report, a specific piece of data from Edgeful, I could try to pull it up for you. As well, and just kind of give you the example. But they change, right? They change in real time. It's based on historical data. More data continues to be collected. Those numbers continue to change, right? So we are closing at the initial balance high. We are cracking the initial balance high with that candle right there. Let's see how this one plays out today. A reversal off of those 300s, man. Was interested to see liquidity did get filled up here, and here we are starting to turn to the downside. Curious to see what we get up here, guys. Really curious to see up here. Now that we've got this high set, we got really... Did we crack it? What was our high today? Whoa, hang on. 311? 49, 311? Yep. All-time highs. What a savage move, man. What a savage move. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about a setup on this, guys. I really am not looking to run in front of this freight train at all. Chasing it would have paid today. ES looking pretty strong. NQ looking pretty strong after holding off a VWAP. These look like they could be ready to move. YM, obviously the strongest out of the bunch. Almost 1.5% change on the day. NQ, close to 1.25%. ES, 0.8% green on the day. Let's see. Everybody's focused like eagles on a rat right now. Gonna make a roll for the last. Looking to make up for all the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I hear that. What's up? What's going on, guys? What's up on Kick? What's up on YouTube? What's up on X? Appreciate you guys hopping on, man. Excited for this year. Excited for 2026. Off to a jump here right off the bat. Off to a jump here on YM for sure. Let's see. Stay impatient, man. Stay impatient. No setup off the open. No setup on just a complete drive to the upside. Looking like we want to keep it moving, though. Yeah, man. This looks like it was buy the damn thing, close your eyes, sing the national anthem. That looks like the play for today. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But since we're hanging out on here at about 10:30, 10:34, about an hour into the open, I don't know if you're new. I don't know if you've never been here before, but as it says on the screen and everywhere else when you look at my live sessions, we do giveaways. We do giveaways almost every day. We give away instant funded accounts, usually instant funded accounts from Top 1 Futures. We may or may not have a giveaway coming up, guys. If you want to potentially be part of the giveaway, you will have to be in Discord. You can listen to the way that I'm phrasing this. You might want to get ready and hop in the 100% free trading Discord, which is in the all links pinned to the top of the chat, but which I will also throw in the chat right now. You might want to hop in here if you're not already, because we might have a giveaway coming up pretty soon today. It's a little bit early. I don't know. What do I know? I might hop in the free Discord. This way you can get a chance at that. Oh, no, that's not it. Get a chance at that giveaway that we may or may not have coming up. What is up with YouTube, man? I don't know why it does that, like, double link thing. Gotta figure that out. But if you guys want that to drop, maybe we smash the like button. Maybe we run the likes up a little bit. Let's do the like goal today. We'll make it easy. Here, I won't play games with you. We've got what do we got on here? We got 192 people that have hopped on and off. We've got 48, 42. Is this lagging a little bit? 48, 42 people, somewhere around 50 people on here. Let's go for... I'll make it easy for you guys. I'll make it pretty easy for you guys. Let's go for 60 likes. We've done 100. We've done 80. We've done a zillion. Let's go for 60 likes. Giveaway at 60 likes. Going to be giving away a Top 1 Futures Ignite Instant Funded account. No purchase necessary. If you want that to drop, feel free to smash the like button here on YouTube. If you are on any other streaming platform that I'm streaming to, which is Kick and X, you guys will still get the goods. If you wanted to drop any quicker, maybe you comment or say what's up in chat, or you smash the like button on YouTube, Kick, or X. We'll get it to run. Appreciate you guys hopping on as always. Shout out Top 1 Futures for supporting your boys, supporting the stream. Remember, I am partnered. I'm affiliated. I stand to make money, so I can't be unbiased. As we get ready to give away an account, I will also talk about what they ran coming into this year, which is absolutely wild. The ability to copy trade up to 10 accounts with them. If you are the copy trade kid, there's only one other firm that I'm aware of that's a real nightmare that allows a whole bunch of copy trading. But Top 1 Futures is allowing up to 10 accounts to be copy traded. Code RDF still gets you a deal. I think it's 40 or 45% off right now, a little off of the crazy Black Friday, Christmas, New Year's deal that they had running. But if you want to check that out, I will also throw the link in the chat to Top 1 Futures. Code RDF, always going to get you the best deal, better than the email, better than the website, better than the Discord. There it is, if you guys want to check it out. Been with these guys with a while. Been with these guys for a while. Obviously, it's what you've watched me trade over the last over half a year here now, live with you every single day. They are my preferred platform. Prop firm, excuse me. Preferred prop firm. Let's see. You guys are running likes up. You're going to hit it. Let me get this form ready to roll. As we are starting to turn down right off of the 300s, trading 50 points lower. We cracked that high all the way over here, broke out, and are finding some sellers here. ES and NQ pulling a similar move, pulling back a little bit. Do we come back over here and test Friday's high? Maybe. Pull back to VWAP. Maybe we kind of close to the downside here. This is still looking super strong across really all metrics. Not nearly as big of a push out of these others. Much choppier on NQ. This probably wouldn't have been too fun to be trying to catch the move to the upside as we're breaking, 5-minute and 15-minute bar lows down here. 5-minute, not really 15-minute. A little bit smoother on the higher time frames. No surprise there. But I'm really curious to see, man. I do think, like, if somehow you didn't take it short in here, you didn't take it short in here and get cooked, you didn't take it short up here and got cooked, and somehow you waited as long as this and you wanted to try a short, now finally we ran into a little bit of a wall at the 250s. We broke that, took the 300s. That's really where we had the last bit of liquidity sitting on the book as far as bookmap goes. Maybe you're a bookmap order flow trader. You're like, we've finally taken out the stack of orders there. We're done. We're going to pull back a little bit. I could see that as a play. I don't know how you get long on this outside of just hitting the buy button and closing your eyes. By way of a risk structure, I think it'd be really difficult to place a stop loss anywhere in here, and have a invalidation point for a long, 150, 200 points above VWAP. But that does feel like the play. But for me, it's no trade. It's no trade. Probably would have gotten smoked on anything that I would have taken so far. Some odd likes. You guys are running it up. While you are running the likes up and we get ready to give out an instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. Take a quick break. I'll be right back, guys. Traders. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Kind of chopping up here. A little bit. Hanging out up here. Starting to slow down just a little bit. It's looking like what we're seeing. Let's see. See what this market's got for us today. I think a short play would be pretty wild. I think there is opportunity in there, but I don't know about fading that. I don't think I'm gonna fade that break of an IB high, which looks like we're gonna try it. I don't think I'm gonna fade this. I think I'm gonna hang out. I think I'm gonna say let the market do whatever the hell it wants to do on this Venezuela news. Sit tight, although I would really like to take some W's coming right into 2026, especially coming off of an L with you guys on Friday. But I also really like to stay patient and not do anything stupid. So, if you are enjoying this stream, if you're enjoying being here, feel free, hit like, hit subscribe. We're going to give away a Top 1 Futures instant funded account at 60 likes. No challenge, no activation fee, straight into a funded account. I think I waited long enough where like a lot of people have hopped off, so I think you guys have a pretty good opportunity to win. Is what it looks like to me. Here we go. Cracking highs. Cracking highs. Let's see. Just get a couple things ready, guys. Just getting a couple of things ready here. Cracking that IB high, man. Chat, what are you guys getting positioned this? What are you trading this? Let me know what's going on. Are you guys looking the upside in ES and NQ? Are you trading YM here with me? Let me know where your head's at. I'm interested to hear, man. You know, this looked really good coming off of Friday. This looked really good coming off of this just downside push where we did not get the Santa rally. It's why I was long on Friday and YM. You know, just market structure price action, the higher time frame looked pretty good. Of course, we blast off today. Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious to hear. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. You think we're pushing the upside, or you think we are going to reverse this back down, come back down, hit VWAP, and just do nothing, right? And just kind of close out on a balanced day. I'm curious to hear. Ton of strength out of YM. That's all we got today. Immediate blast off the open. Let me scroll out on a 1 minute just so we can look at this together. Blast off the open. Really just consecutive bullish bars right into the open. Not much of a pullback at all. Just continuing to grind higher now, although we are starting to kind of die down. Volume dying down. Volatility dying down. Where price is moving is starting, some of that momentum is starting to slow down. Could we see another leg up? Could we see some consolidation? Maybe a little bit of a pullback? Maybe just get, halfway back to VWAP from where we are now? That would still be almost 200 points to the downside, right? I think so. I think that would be reasonable. I'm trying to frame a trade idea on this for what I am looking at here. And I'm just not sure that it's anything that I want to put on in this account. I just don't know if it's something I want to put on, man. I just don't like the idea of fading. This is not a mean reversion play, into the open. This is fading, an hour and a half into the market open as we just continue to drive higher. For a long, you could look for a pullback. Outside of that, you would have just had to hit the buy button, right? Maybe that's enough for you. You perfectly catch it there, but you buy maybe below prior bar low, like a 5-minute bar low or something. That gets you into a super aggressive momentum trend. I really don't have a trade for that. I don't have a trade for when the market just rips in one direction immediately off of the open. I don't try to have a trade for that for the most part. It's not something that happens super frequently. I'd like to be in where I can structure risk well and be dead wrong if I'm wrong, the way that I talk about oftentimes. But I'm curious to hear what you guys were looking at. Let's see. Planted longs, but the blast off at the open took all the opportunities away. I hear that. No trades today. I'm not starting 2026 on the wrong foot. I feel that. I definitely feel that. Absolutely not interested. Okay. Yeah, you guys are in the same boat as me, just hanging out, man, watching it. I trade MGC, bullish all day. Nice. In longs on NQ. Nice, man. Monday, I'm going to be patient. Yeah, for sure, man. That's the other, it's Monday. Monday coming into the beginning part of this month, man. Waited patiently, thinking long, back down to VWAP, but come back down to VWAP. Today's last day of the Santa Rally. Mystic Rick looking for the looking for the real turn back around, huh? You're looking for this thing to end. No, this is Pirate Rally. Looking for high day VWAP break as well. There you go. Did not want to chase. I like shorts. Got my setup on NQ. Liked it, but I got destroyed right away. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm in a similar boat. Listen, guys. The other thing is, you know, if you had a setup on this and you did well or you got cooked, like that's fine. For me, for the most part, like just to go back to what I'm looking at, for me, for the most part, if we just rip in one direction, and for most traders, we rip in one direction right off of the open. The traders that are going to do really well with that are breakout momentum traders really early into the open, right? They're going to do really poorly on a day where we range, where we chop back and forth, right? Range traders, mean reversion style traders, are going to do poorly on a day like today, right? Why? They're going to fade the pop to the upside. They're going to do much better on a day where we do pull back, on a day where we chop, where we don't have a big trend day in one direction. For the most part, I find that you're not every type of trader, right? Otherwise, you would have to be trading everything all the time, and that would just generate like complete inconsistency. So if you got cooked today, I wouldn't be pissed off about it. If you did really well today, awesome. You know, wait for your setup. Wait for your setups to come. Again, for me, direction, like right, sentiment right, bias right. Like you go back to the beginning of the video, beginning of the live, this is what I would have liked to see. And what would I have done? The same thing that I do really aggressively off the open if we get that move in the direction that I want, counter to the trend that I'm looking at. I would have entered really aggressively, but I really would have probably had a hard line in the sand right down around the Friday's naked volume point of control. The 48,400s. We didn't get that. We didn't get any pullback into the open at all. In fact, we blasted in one direction. That wasn't a fake out, at least so far. And we've just continued to push higher, right? Really push highs, go trade through the 300s. High of day so far, we've got 328. Yeah, I was like, why is it showing me a different number? 49, 328 in this contract on YM. So, I think it could be a good note to talk about. I don't trade for entertainment on here, and it's something that I'm definitely not doing into 2026. You see a lot of guys that stream live, and I get some flack for it sometimes. Most of the people are pretty supportive about just not taking dumbass trades to take dumbass trades. I'm not going to do that. I don't have margin for error to do that. I'm in a Top 1 Futures pre-live account that I would prefer not to just lose. I'd prefer to make money in it. But that means for me, especially the way that I trade, a little bit higher time frames, looking for a larger movement, I'm going to have no trade sessions. I'm going to have plenty of them. It also means I'm going to have really aggressive trading sessions, like on Friday, right into the open. I'm long a mini a couple minutes in. It just depends on just depends on what happens. Waiting for my setup to come to me. I think a lot of traders, myself included, struggle with that. Struggle with not putting a trade on if there's no setup. And maybe you have, usually you average 3-4 trades a day, right? And sometimes you take 5 or 6. There's probably going to be at least a couple of sessions, maybe not even the whole day, where you don't have a trade on because the market's doing something insane. It's doing something completely different. And a telltale sign that you're doing something wrong, unless this is your edge, unless your edge specifically calls for a mechanical trade at the same time every single day, a telltale sign you're doing something wrong is if you have a trade on or the exact same number of trades on in the same amount of time every single day. The market doesn't move like that. We know it moves completely differently, right? So, how would you be able to be exploiting something consistently if you're doing the exact same thing every single day when the market is not moving consistently that way? So, I think everybody's different. The frequency of trades you take is always going to be different. There's people that are going to take 100 trades a day. There's people that take, 1 trade a month. And then most of the people are going to be somewhere in the middle. I don't think most people are taking 100 trades a day or 1 trade a month. But for all of those extremes, there's probably going to be conditions or just a setup that is not there for you where you don't have a trade. Sit patient. Don't let boredom creep in. We don't get paid by the hour. We don't get paid by the hour here, guys. I think it's so important. The market does not give a flying F how many trades you take. That is not what is going to get you paid. It takes a lot to really recognize that and remember it, but we don't get paid by the amount of trades that we take. We really do not get paid by the hour here. We are not on salary. We are paid on how we execute. And I think that's also demonstrated, and I talked about this on Prop for Match TV, or their live stream with Zach, the other Zach. Most of trading is surviving. Most of what we do in trading is taking our small wins, taking our small losses, break even, surviving. And then when the market conditions are right, when our setups come back to back to back, when we're on that hot streak, executing really well. And what you find, how that's displayed, is in most traders' yearly P&L, right? At least for me, what my year looks like, for the most part, and you can see this demonstrated through live trading, right, is win streaks, losing streaks, break evens. I will have months where, plenty of months where I'm small green, break even, small red, right? And then majority of profit will come from a relatively small number of trades and time, right? That's what most traders, P&Ls and equity curves are going to look like. That only plays out if during the time when there's no setups and you should be break even, you should be nice and calm down the middle, that you don't have a knife down because you blow your account taking 47 dumbass trades, right? So, I think it's non-linear. It's the best way that I could describe it. It is non-linear, right? Both in what we do as far as amount of trades that we're putting on and reward for sitting in front of the charts. It's hard to come to terms with that as a human. We're not designed like that. Almost nothing else we do from a career or work perspective functions that way. So it's really abnormal. But if you can recognize that and be at peace with that and expect that to happen, you stand a better chance at survival and actually making a profit. I struggled with that a lot. When I woke up to trade, when I was first coming in, I never didn't have a trade on. I was always putting a trade on. If I'm in front of the charts for 15 minutes, I couldn't help myself but to be long or short. Like that was just, I felt like I needed to. I felt like I wasn't doing anything. Well, I missed a session. I missed an opportunity. The market's moving. How did I not make money? I should have made or lost money at least. I didn't do anything. You didn't do shit today. That's not the right way of thinking. It's not the right way of thinking. Really everybody outside of super high frequently scalpers are gonna have to come to terms with that, to a degree. So think about that coming into this year, man. I've reflected on it a lot. How am I going to stay patient when the market's not doing jack anything? When it's just not setting up for me? When it feels like it's moving like today and I don't have a setup, right? When it is doing something, but it's not my setup. It's not my trade. How am I going to keep myself patient? How am I going to keep myself from doing something crazy? And then when the market is setting up for me, when I'm having these back-to-back wins, when the conditions look really good, or even if I'm not having back-to-back wins, but when the conditions are right, how am I going to press it? How am I going to continue to execute effectively and make the most of that time, right? It's preparing for it. It's thinking about it. It's expecting those really aggressive months, the red months, and the painfully break-even streaks. That's what most traders' equities will look like. Again, not everybody. There are some extremes to this for sure, by way of consistency and just a ton of green, by way of even more so to what I'm describing, where they're red for 9 months out of the year, and then they have 1,000% return 1 month. Super duper high risk to reward, low win rate. Approaches. But think about that. Reflect on that. Most traders are not prepared for that. They want to make a payout. They want to make the same amount every day. We got to, trade towards prop firm rules. Sometimes they're not designed for that, especially evals. You got to make a certain amount of profit in 30 days and pass. It's not how the market works. We know that's not how the market works. Look at it, There's times where it's trending. There's times where it's chopping. There's periods of low volatility. There's periods of high volatility, right? They're drastically different periods of the market. There's big downtrends, there's uptrends. Like you're an expectation that you're going to do the same thing every single day when the market does not do the same thing every single day. It doesn't make sense. It's just not logical. So think about that. The best traders can recognize that as well. I used to watch that and I wouldn't understand, and I would be a little bit frustrated. I used to watch guys, and one day it would feel like they were just kicking back, not doing anything, and the next day they'd be like taking multiple trades, or they're putting on big risk. And I'm like, what do you do? Why are you doing that? How do you know? They know what their setup looks like. They know what their setup doesn't look like. They know what trash conditions for them look like. They know what really good conditions for them look like. You know, I'm ending with for them because it's different for everybody. But that's a big differentiator is gaining experience and confidence to sit patiently and execute, effectively, right? Execute aggressively, press it. Important to think about. So I said giveaway at 60 likes, guys. We got 51 people on here. You guys must not want the account today. I'm giving out a Top 1 Futures instant funded and Ignite instant funded account here on the live stream. If you want this form to drop, I'm going to hold you to it since I'm hanging out with you. Giveaway at 60 likes. Feel free, smash the like button. We'll run a duck race. We'll get somebody funded with an instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. And if you want to check out Top 1 Futures, they are still 40 or 45% off. You can copy trade up to 10 accounts. Absolutely insane. I'm actually really interested in seeing who the first person is to hit a $35,000 payout, which would be, which I think would be the max you could take from the straight to funded pros. Gonna be pretty wild to see that. Let's see. Apparently my strategy for this year is rack up many losses as I can right away. That's part of it. Yeah, I've noticed that several times. I take my setup regardless of when it comes. Before or after market open, I do well. Yep. Most of us here to learn. I appreciate the discipline to stay out if it's not there. Yeah, right? No trades can be the right trade, though. That's why we watch you. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, right? I was talking about, different traders doing different things. Again, man, I watch different guys trade, and live trading presents an interesting dynamic. I've talked about this a lot. I think you could imagine, right? It's entertaining to watch trades. It's entertaining to watch money be made and lost. It's directly displayed by my view count. As soon as I have a trade on, my view count jumps. We'll have more viewers, more concurrent viewers, more total views, more comments, more likes, as subscribers, everything as soon as I have a trade on, right? So it incentivizes live traders to trade more, right? That's the incentive. But I know where my edge and where my edge isn't, or where at least I think I have more edge and where I think I have less edge. Super low time frame, high frequency scalping, trading 47,000 times a day. That's not where I've done well in the past. That's not where I've had my biggest gains. That's not where I tend to do the best. Staying patiently, waiting for this setup that I'm looking for to come, putting full risk on, taking a full win or a loss, or staying completely patient, and not taking a trade if there's nothing, not forcing something. That's where I tend to do best personally. So I'm gonna do what I hope will generate the most amount of money, right? And I think that's what you would prefer to see anyway, outside of a person just scalping away crazily with high risk, ripping through accounts, just for the sake of taking 47,000 trades and, maybe following along or like doing something that, they shouldn't be doing anyway. So that's where I'm at. Again, read that thing that I posted in Discord and on X if you want more info on that. So I appreciate you. We got 60 likes. 62 likes. You know what time it is, guys? Hang tight. It is giveaway time. Giveaway form is live in Discord. You have to hop in the 100% free trading Discord to get it. Otherwise, we get overrun by the scammers and spammers. Link is in the chat. Again, it's also pinned to the top if you want to grab it. There it is on YouTube, Kick. X, go to the profile, go to my main profile, go to my link in my bio if you want to get in there, man. It's at the top where it says 100% free trading community. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes, quick rule set, so everybody remembers this. Because I was really nice on Friday, and I didn't need to do all that. 2 To win this giveaway, it is for a 50K Ignite instant funded account from Top One Futures. The account will come straight from Top One Futures if you win to the email you provide. Fill out the form in Discord, which will be live for 5 minutes and will get shut off. The link to join, like I just said, is in the chat. Pinned to the chat as well. Why am I getting background noise? Don't fill the form out more than one time. If you fill it out more than once, you're going to get banned from everything, including the prop firm itself. Winners picked in 5 minutes. If you win, you need to be here to claim it. You need to be in the chat to claim it. I'm going to give you 3 minutes from the time that we run the race, the winner is picked, to claim it. You have to say what's up in the chat. If I'm calling out your name, you got to be here to claim it. On Friday of last week, we had multiple races where the people were not here to claim it. And what happened, of course, they all came back into Discord asking for the accounts. I did the nice thing and gave them to everybody. We gave out like 5 accounts on Friday of last week. But I don't need to do that. So we're not going to do that going forward. You got to be here to claim it. You got to be in the chat. It's for people that are on the live stream. I'm posting it in Discord. If you fill it out, you're not here. You're, a scammer, spammer. You're not going to get a chance to win. So important to note that. Those are the rules. I will not repeat them. I'm going to try so hard not to repeat myself this year. Awesome, man. When will you switch to Trade-of-8 and TradingView? That is a good question. As soon as I am allowed to. As soon as I am allowed to swap off of Project X in this Top One Futures pre-live 15K account, I will do so. So far, they have not given the early option to do that. The migration that everybody should see is coming up in about a month. But I've been patiently waiting to see if they are going to announce, which I think they might, an early option to get off of Project X and go over to Trade-of-8 and NinjaTrader. Yeah, Trade-of-8, NinjaTrader, and TradingView. Let me get you the exact dates on that, because they have laid it out really clearly. So, February 16th. That's what they have as the date. February 16th. So it's a month and a half from today. They have migration to Trade-of-8 and NinjaTrader listed. Hopefully before then, they give an option. You can trade on Project X with Top One Futures up to that point for them specifically. And then it will be Trade-of-8, NinjaTrader, TradingView. So if they give an option, I'll probably hop over. I don't know that they will. I also am being in a live account. I'll probably be on the back of the list. Like, I don't think that live accounts are they're much less frequent. I don't think they're going to be looked at first. So I probably will be in it, if I had to say, into February. But that answers that question. Boss don't know how to hit the like button. I agree. Good thing I don't bot my own streams up. Aldo Trades. I know somebody else was doing it. I don't know if it was in a malicious way on X. But I average, let's say, anywhere between, like, today's pretty low, maybe around, like, 100, 150 on the high end. A couple weeks ago, I had, like, 1,000 or, like, 1,500 people, 2,000 people live on X, and somebody was botting my stream up. I think they do that maliciously, intentionally, to get you banned, to get you limited. People send other people fake followers or views and shit, excuse my language, to get them banned from the platforms for breaking practices or just to destroy their reach. I don't know why anybody would do that to me. I don't have any beef with anybody. Maybe somebody was doing it just to, like, get likes or something, or they thought they were helping me out. But don't do that. That's not good. It's not allowed, and it can, get you banned. But a lot of the platforms, live streaming platforms, kind of sketchy. They don't really have a fight against that. Not that you guys care about this, but yeah, that's the deal. All right, guys, that was 5 minutes. Form is getting shut out right now. Last chance right now, guys. Giveaway form is live in Discord. Go ahead, get it filled out. I see the responses are still coming in. We got a couple more people. Go ahead, get that one filled out. Don't spam it. Remember, if you fill it out more than one time, you're going to get banned. You're going to get the axe from here and probably from Top One Futures and everywhere else that I can get banned from. All right. Giveaway form is done. That was 5 minutes. Let's run the Ducks. Remember, only time I'm going to say it, I am repeating myself, but I'm going to say it because I posted it in Discord and I talked about it afterwards. You got to be in the chat. The person that wins has to be here to claim it. I'm going to give a structured time so it's fair for everybody. You got 3 minutes to claim it, and then we run it again. All right, guys. The Ducks are in a row. As this continues to turn back to the upside here, it looks like we are not going to take our foot off the gas here in YM. All right, let's do it. 5 minutes on the clock. We have how many Ducks in a row? 75 Ducks in a line. Not too many today. You guys got pretty good odds. Good luck, everybody. I hope your duck does not get stopped out. Ready to go, bro. Made 322 in the XFA high day VWAP break. Very nice. Duck time, Ange Cart. What's up? Joined in as a listener. Just jumped over to video. Headband is looking good. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I'm growing my hair out. If you care about this type of stuff, I get comments on my appearance all the time. So you can watch the progression, just like my trading. You can watch the progression. I was growing my hair when I first started putting out content. I had not cut it for a long period of time, like years. After I left my corporate career, got really, really long. I cut it all off and donated it to Locks of Love, which was pretty cool. Hopefully some little girl with cancer or some other, diagnosis or guy, whatever, has a nice, long, luscious head of hair from me. And pretty shortly after that, last year, I was like, man, I wish I didn't cut my hair off. I'm going to grow it again. So it's growing. It's growing out. You're going to watch the hair growth like a Tamagotchi. I'll probably do a super clip of all of like my screenshots from my live trades because I stream every single day, and it'll be like a time lapse going from, a skin fade with some hair on top to long ass hair down to my shoulders again. And then I'll probably cut it all off and donate it again because I thought that was a cool thing to do. It wasn't really my initial idea, to be honest. It's my wife's idea. Quacking Ducks, taking care of business, running the Ducks. 5 minutes. Wow, I should have fed my ducks some energy drinks. Yeah. I always want to grow my hair out, but it gets to the awkward phase, and then I cut it. Yep. That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, it's like looks ridiculous for a long period of time. I grow in a beard. The views go up as the hair goes down. Yeah, dude. The views. The longer my hair grows, the more my views grow. Direct correlation to hair growth and view count. People love the hair. Not everybody, no. My duck is still fat from Xmas turkey. Promise, bro. Relaxing Zen out front, but we got 2 minutes to go, man. I'm not going to announce it. Too many ducks get stopped out. I'm not going to announce it until we get close. Again, appreciate you guys being here before we, because I know a lot of you guys hop off. You might not want to leave until somebody claims it, just to let you guys know. Remember, if you want to check out Top 1 Futures, link is pinned to the top of the chat. You can copy trade up to 10 accounts with these guys with the lowest all-in instant funding in the industry. Been here for 8 or 9 months now, like $18 or $19 million paid out to traders. If you want to check it out, code RDF supports yourself, supports me, supports the channel. Remember, I'm partnered and affiliated. I stand to make money. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money. Also, Edgeful. We were talking about Edgeful showing the platform today, talking about that initial balance, which is probably going to play out today. Be very surprised if it didn't. 20% off. I also forgot 7-day free trial. I got to add this on here. 7-day free trial to Edgeful with my link. You have to use the link if you want to get the 7-day free trial. The 20% discount is no code needed. No code needed for the 7-day free trial either. But you guys can check it out. I think it's awesome that they do that. You can get all the stats that you want. You can sign up and, I think it's really cool if they do that, actually. You can look through all of the stuff that you want. You can make notes. You can take screenshots, and then, maybe the trial expires. But they do change, right? The indicator access, you wouldn't have that. So I think there's a reason it's a subscription, right? It's, its data continues to print. All right, 60 seconds to go. Let's see. Yeah, we did a long race this time. Did a long race this time. 5 minutes. I'm trying to give the slow starts, a chance. I'm trying to give the ducks that are in choppy markets before they break out. I'm trying to give those guys a chance. My duck is swimming. Pro Trader has the Dick Cheney duck. My duck's swimming towards the front under all your ducks. I'm gaining, bro, up front. Zero duck. You guys are mad phony. Phony. 20 seconds to go. Tommy up front. Arkins. I can't pronounce these names at all. The 58 duck, the 41 duck. Ruben T coming from behind. The panda duck. The strawberry duck holding very strong down bottom. Blue water cruiser making a run for it. The business lens up front. The 64 naked duck. We got a W. Don't go anywhere, chat. Don't go anywhere. Let's not have another repeat of Friday. A lot of ducks hit stop losses there, yes. We have the business lens, the number 64 duck. Where are you in the chat? Before you guys go anywhere, remember what happened on Friday. I had to run it back like 5 times. 3 minutes. Clock starts now. I'm going to check the chat. I'm going to make sure I also check the chat on IG and, on X and on Kick, which I don't always do. Jess, what's up on Kick? Congrats. Let's see. The business lens is here. There he's here. I'm here for the first time in 3 minutes. There he is. We got a W in the chat. Thank you, Rhombus, also, for the people saying he's listed. Thank you. I know half of you guys go run it again right off the bat. Congratulations, number 64. You are, Business Lens, you are funded with an instant funded Ignite 50K from Top 1 Futures. I will get this one sent over to you. I won't get it sent over to you. Top 1 Futures will get it sent over to you. They come straight from the email. Remember, if you won on Friday, if you're one of the people that won on Friday, that I gave a shitload more accounts out, excuse my language, after when I wasn't supposed to, they are going to be delayed. Those accounts are going to be delayed as I'm trickling back in to give away way too many accounts, way more than I should have. But everybody's going to get their account. Business Lens, you should see the account in a day. You should see it like tomorrow. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right here. No trade for me on the first Monday of 2026. Wasn't able to capitalize on anything blasting off to the upside. Just not my play. We talked about this quite a bit. I don't think I'm going to have a trade on this account into the afternoon. If I do, I will call it out in Discord. I will attempt to call it out in real time in Discord the way that I have for almost every single trade that I've taken here, either live with you guys or called out live in Discord. All right, Duck. All right. If you guys want to check out, quick plug one more time. If you guys want to check out Top 1 Futures, link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you want to check out Edgeful, link is pinned to the top of the chat. You want to check out Bookmap, link is in that. All links as well. Again, I'm partner, I'm affiliate. I stand to make money. I can't be unbiased. These are the tools that I use, the stuff that I believe in. Also the stuff that pays me, which is why I say that first part. But check it out. Do your own research. Decide if it might be something that is helpful for you. Decide that stuff for yourself, as you should with everything in your life, but especially in trading. Remember, guys, quick disclaimer. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like I just talked about. See you guys in Discord. See you guys on IG and on X and here on YouTube. I'm doing a ton more content-wise. I would follow along. Link is to the pin to the top of the chat, realdealfutures.com, if you want a chance to win more accounts, to get all the info, insights, trade recaps, everything going on in my trading this year. Talk to you guys soon. See you live here tomorrow.